winners and losers presented by Discover. And we're going to do a little bit of a different twist. We haven't gotten to the start of the NHL season quite yet.
Nope.
So why don't we do winners and losers of, let's say, the offseason? And I'll start with the winner. I think it's a pretty easy one. Anze Kopitar. He's going to have a farewell tour for the entire season. He's going to retire at the end of the season. And well-deserved, because I would venture to say, Wish, and obviously you've been covering the league for a very long time, he's one of those, we know he's very good.
Yeah.
We know he's elite, but when we talk about those elite players, he kind of becomes the underappreciated player.
And I wonder if that's because of Bergeron. I always wondered that because, Patrice Bergeron became the multi-Selke guy. Kopitar won 2. He won a couple of Bings. He won a couple of Cups. 1,278 points in 1,454 games. He's a Hall of Famer, the best Slovenian hockey player I've ever seen.
Yes.
But it's going to be a great chance for us to take a season to celebrate his greatness. And I found it interesting that he decided to announce his retirement before the season. One, it was interesting because in true hockey tradition, he announces on the same day that Clayton Kershaw announces. So literally no one talks about Anze Kopitar's retirement, unfortunately. But I also found it to be interesting that he announced his retirement on the same day that Alex Ovechkin kicked it down the road. He did not make a decision about this being his final season. And it's going to be interesting to see, how Kopitar celebrated throughout the league, and obviously Ovechkin kind of allowing the season to play out before making a decision instead of taking over another season for the Capitals and making it all about Ovi.
Yeah, I will give a shout out to the Dodgers, particularly the social media account, because they were among the first to put that Sports Illustrated cover to post it on social with Kershaw and Kopitar.
Yeah.
So they brought it together like LA Sports.
It's the
kind of
least
thing.
they could do after the Kings had a press conference, for God's sakes, and Kershaw's like, I better get this out there while I can. It's the least they could do.
Give us a loser.
Loser, the Florida Panthers' health. Oh my God. We were on the cusp of a dynasty, people. And then you have Matthew Tkachuk out for the first few months of the season. Hopefully he's going to be back in December. Then obviously the incredibly frustrating news to see Alexander Barkov go down in practice. His first practice of the preseason, man, with a ACL and MCL injury. Now, we don't know with any certainty right now whether he's going to be done for the entirety of the year, which obviously impacts what the Panthers can do with their cap. But a huge blow to this team that, again, looked primed to make a 4th consecutive trip to the Stanley Cup final, potentially a 3rd straight Stanley Cup championship, which we haven't seen since the Islanders' 1980s dynasty, to lose their captain. And for my money, the reason they've won back-to-back cups, Barkov, even if his numbers aren't blowing you away, he does everything you need in the playoffs, was just a huge bummer.
If he does return for the postseason, they make it work with the cap. I'm just talking personnel here, okay? Matthew Tkachuk and Sasha Barkov return. I think that team without those 2 players still make the playoffs.
I think so too.
And I think that it's because we always have this conversation. It's year 3, 3 straight finals. Oh, the tired factor, the extra 25 games in the season, all that talk. But now you have a refreshed 2 players.
You do.
So I wonder if that's going to change the narrative a little bit.
Everyone else is dead tired, but they're all right.
They're all fine.
No, and I think that they can like you mentioned, they can probably survive it. I mean, Anton Lundell has been called Baby Barkov for years for a reason, which is he's a guy on another team, would probably be a 1 or 2 in the center position, and now he'll get to move up the lineup most likely. They should be able to survive. The real question, though, Arda, as you mentioned, is whether or not they're going to take the salary cap space that opens up with Barkov being on long-term injury reserve, which is $10 million against the cap. Are they going to use that? And if they use it, that means he's done for the entirety of the season. But if they decide that he can maybe come back for the playoffs, then they can go maybe I think it's $3 million or something along those lines above the cap. So we'll see what they end up doing.
Yeah. A winner for me, the final goodbye in Pittsburgh for Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh, yeah.
It was a moment. Now, in recent years, I have loved the tradition when Anze Kopitar is going to get this treatment this year.
Yeah.
When he plays a team for the last time, there's going to be a handshake line. Even if it's in, let's say, November and they're playing an Eastern Conference team and that's the last time they're going to see them, he's going to get a handshake line. And I love that tradition. I think it should remain in the NHL. Like the goodbye, you're retiring, let's show our respect on the ice. Equally, I hope that Marc-Andre Fleury has started, and the Pittsburgh Penguins organization has started a tradition where a longtime player that either went away or even is retiring gets one final preseason game. And I know that their number of preseason games is diminishing. I get it. But I loved it. It was a moment. It created a great vibe. And hockey fans loved it across the league, not just Penguins fans. So give me more of that.
I would love to see it. And also pranks. He also pulled pranks.
A lot of pranks.
And we do love that.
On reporters.
We do love that.
Dan Potash.
Yeah, awesome.
Poor guy's notes are everywhere.
Loser for me, unfortunately, is this Franken jersey that we saw at Fleury's last game. A patchwork jersey representing the teams he played for. Again, maybe you like this. It's definitely a jersey foul. My problem with it is, Arda, we simply must respect the legacy of Fleury's time with the Chicago Blackhawks, don't we? Come on.
Well, he technically played there.
But who cares?
So you're saying let's just forget about the Blackhawks?
I'm just saying we're a Penguins Fleury jersey.
That's it.
He's basically retiring as a Penguin. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, totality of his career. Okay, fair enough. Why don't you round this out since you're the jersey foul aficionado?
All right, we saw some new threads come out before the season. The winners for me are the Seattle Kraken's new black jerseys that glow in the dark, Arda.
Beautiful.
Very cool,
Beautiful.
very cool. They should go with black jerseys to begin with. They look awesome. So those are dope. And then the Capitals Eagle jerseys, they're bringing back the Screaming Eagle. They're putting it on a jersey. I think this jersey will probably end up being their new duds or new threads at some point in the near future. And then loser for me, look, the New York Rangers throwbacks looks like a beer league team that ran out of money back in the 1950s. And then the Hurricanes jerseys, they added black to the logo. Doesn't change the fact the logo stinks. Looks like a swirly toilet bowl. And now you have put black highlights into the swirly toilet bowl to accentuate that it looks like a toilet bowl.
Okay, so it's not number one or number two for you, the Hurricanes jerseys.
Clearly not.
The Rangers color, though, I love that shade of blue.
Sure.
What don't you like about it?
I just think it is a lesser version of the jersey they're wearing. It's the same thing as the Team USA jerseys where they would have one that looked great and then they'd have like the old timey one that looked like it's just beat up and moth riddled. And, the Rangers jersey has nothing to me.
Fair enough.